Hey, this is another time lapse art video. Um, just wanted to talk about sort of a conversation that's sort of in the present mind, I think, of our world today, and that's AI, artificial intelligence. Um, Me and my barber get into a discussion about this a lot. We talk about AI and its effect on art a great deal. And I think the reason why it's such a hot button issue for artists is because we have a vested interest in the future of AI and how it influences the creation of art, right? Um, we put a lot of work in, and you even get like AI artists, people who call themselves AI artists who put things into a prompt and basically they see themselves as artists. Meanwhile, it sort of devalues the work that artists do. However, I would say that I probably have a different sort of take on this idea, and I think the reason is because I kind of see an inevitability to this. AI will only ever get better. It's gonna get to the point where it's pretty indiscernible because the way AI works, the way it sort of just takes cues from anything that's on the internet. If you're an artist today, you're present on the internet, your work is going to be lifted by AI in some way, and it's going to get to the point where you really good, talented work will be indiscernible to your typical audience goer. And as long as it's good quality, people will watch it, and artists will lose in some way, or they need to adjust. I think any worldview that doesn't take that into account and doesn't realize the direction that we're going and says, oh, because some people say AI, well, we got to stop AI. There's no stopping AI. You can't get around it. It's such a convenient tool. And historically, just look back at history. Tools like this don't, they don't die down. They only get better and more accurate. And it's getting to the point where it influences everything: writing, filmmaking, anything you can think of, right? So, the question is, what's the way forward, right? Now, I have an interesting perspective because I'm an artist who's not necessarily, as you can see, I'm not a particularly talented artist. I mean, the art that's going on in the background is not necessarily the world's greatest art, you know what I mean? But it's mine. I know that I can't stand up to a lot of very talented artists. But what I can do is I can create my own unique art and make it unapologetically me and expressive. I think ultimately this is something that AI really can't do too much of. It's going to be a similar competitive situation. Like, for example, I think if you look at anime has, if you look at old anime, for example, you know how much work went into each frame of that. And by the way, you can tell just by looking at it. You can look at the frames and you can go, you know what? Work went into that. And even the imperfections, you can see imperfections in the lines and everything, the way it's composed, it's not exactly perfect. As opposed to anime nowadays, it's like super, it's got a sheen on it, super clean, super cool looking. And guess what? There are audiences for both of those styles of animation. No matter what, people are going to gravitate towards something that looks good to them, right? So you can't help that. But there is, just visually, it's clear that there's some work that goes into something. It requires hard work to do. You see the work through the animation. It's hard for me to express exactly what that looks like or why that's the case. I'm sure someone else would be really good at explaining that. I don't think I'm as good at explaining it. I just think you can just see it. You can just look at it. The work that goes into something. And I really think that we as artists need to begin to understand it's not about the quality of your work anymore. And very soon, quality is going to be something that is dime a dozen. And it's already kind of that way. You see amazing things all over the place and you ask, is this AI or is this actually an artist? Quality is not the name of the game anymore. We as artists need to lean into what most artists already understand. And that is the fact that our art doesn't actually come from us. It doesn't come from our hands. It doesn't come from our understanding of what technically makes something good or bad or anything like that. That's not where the goodness really comes from. The good comes from genuine human expression. God created us in his image. God is the creator God, the one who made all things, the one that made things beautiful, lovely, harmonize. We as artists need to lean into the reality that we have a soul, a spirit that we express. And it does not matter what robot does. What matters is what we choose to do, how we choose to express ourselves uniquely, not perfectly, but uniquely and unapologetically us. This is why I believe that Christian artists have a particular edge. Christian artists have not been doing well over the years. They phoned it in because they have an audience that will look at what they do regardless of what the quality is. People who don't really think or lean into their art. And the thing is, we have no excuse as Christian artists. We know the truth. We know that all beauty comes from one source, and it's God. So if we believe that all beauty and creativity comes from one source, and it's a pure source, it's not AI, it's not technique, it's not any of these things, it's genuine expression of soul and spirit, then we need to tap into that as Christian artists and become wholly unique and undeniable in the workspace. Thank you so much for listening. I appreciate all you guys listening. God bless.